Welcome to the leading podcast for long-term weight management. Subscribe to the podcast so that you don't miss an episode. You can connect with Jenny on all social media channels. You can also sign up to the newsletter to receive frequent content and tips for weight loss success.
Hey guys, welcome to the latest episode of Power Over Food. I hope you've had a great week. I hope everything's going well for you, and I hope you're managing your weight successfully. Just a reminder, if you haven't listened from the start, from episode 1, please go back and listen. Each episode I share some more tips to help you with your long-term weight management. And if you are finding these podcasts valuable, please share with other people. Let's together help everybody understand more about their relationship with food and their eating. So today I wanted to talk about weight loss thoughts, weight loss opinions and myths, because there's so many out there and there's so many different opinions. I just thought I would discuss some of my thoughts on the most common weight loss myths that are thrown around on a daily basis. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this is because I'm a big believer in making informed decisions about your weight loss, based not only on the facts, but also on what's right for you. And over the years, I've had so many conversations about the right way to lose weight. And some of my clients, I've seen them in turmoil about what somebody else has told them, what they should or shouldn't do. And what we have to remember is many things that people say to us, they are just their opinions, and they're often based on something they've heard somebody else say or something that they've picked up that's not always true. It's not always factually correct. And I've heard people slating different diets and different weight loss regimes. But if it works for you and you are healthy whilst you're losing weight, then I always say go for it. Never mind what other people's opinions are. Never mind what the haters say. Follow a plan that is right for you and that works for you. And to be honest, it doesn't really matter which way you lose weight, because whatever you do, it's about changing your mindset around food forever. And that is why I'm recording these podcasts. So here's one thing I hear an awful lot, and that is if you lose weight quickly, you will put it back on quickly. And this is not technically true. And if you have listened to episode 1, you will know that I lost 6.5 stone in 6 months, and I have successfully maintained that weight loss for 15 years. And I have worked with many men and women who do lose weight rapidly on very low calorie diets, and they do keep their weight off. But I have also known men and ladies who have regained their weight loss within 18 months of losing it. And in fact, did you know that statistics show that 9 out of 10 people who lose weight will regain it within a year, no matter which way they lose it? Whether they lose it fast or slow, the statistics show 9 out of 10 people that lose weight will put it back on within the year. And that's simply because when we are dieting, we are focused on the goal, but we don't change the behaviour long term. We change the behaviour while we are losing weight. And when we stop dieting, the old habits return, and they sometimes return quite quickly, sometimes slowly, but they return and we gain the weight back. And yes, if we lose weight over a longer period of time and you are integrating healthier habits for that period of time, then that is really helpful because the habits get more ingrained, but that still doesn't guarantee it will stay off, because we have to work at keeping it off. I actually wonder if the opinion that losing weight quickly means we will put it back on comes from quick fix dieting. And we've all done it. We've needed to shed a few pounds for a wedding or a holiday, or maybe we intended to do more than a week on a diet and we started, but with all good intentions, we gave up. When you start any diet, more often than not, in your first week, you see a bigger weight loss. And this is because what happens is we lose some of our glycogen stores. And the glycogen stores is basically the food that is stored in your body. and it's stored with water. So when we start cutting down, if you think about it like the Last Supper that you have, because most of us overindulge before we start a diet. So when you weigh on the scales on a Monday morning, whatever your weight says, it's got the food that you've eaten on the Sunday in your body. And that's in your glycogen stores. It's all mushed up, it's glycogen, and it's stored in your body. And each gram of glycogen stored in your body is bound to 3 or 4 grams of water. So in your first day of dieting, or your first few days, you empty these stores and your stores become lower because you're eating less food. So your glycogen stores get lower, so there is less water in with your glycogen, and you have that bigger drop on the scales in the first week. So if you're really, really good all week because you're going to a wedding and you drop 4 pounds on the scales for the Saturday, that's absolutely brilliant. But what happens is you go to the wedding, you overindulge, you drink alcohol, you eat high calorie foods, you have a bit of a blowout. The next morning you have a full English and you've put the 4 pounds back on. So yes, you've lost it really, really quickly, but you've gained it really quickly because what you've actually lost is glycogen stores and you've just filled your stores back up. You haven't really lost fat and you haven't gained fat. You've just gained stores and water during that week. So I do wonder if that's where the myth comes from. Now, this can also be unhelpful because what people tend to do is they can weigh themselves after 3 or 4 days on a diet, see that several pounds have gone and think, oh, brilliant, well, it's okay if I have something extra to eat today because I've already lost 3-4 pounds. Fantastic. But then what happens is they overindulge, the scales go up, and then they get really disheartened because there's a gain and they throw in the towel. I know it's crazy, but I'm sure that you can relate to this because I've done it. I've done it so many times. And even though I know it, I still do it when I'm maintaining my weight. Now, the next one that you will be familiar with is a breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So I believe in eating when you are physically hungry, not because it's time to eat. I'm not sure about you, but in the past, have you ever eaten a meal because it's time to eat, because it's lunchtime, because it's tea time? A great example of this is Sundays. You might have a late breakfast, but you always have Sunday dinner at 2 o'clock. So you cook the Sunday dinner and you have it anyway, even if you're not hungry. And this is because sometimes we eat by the clock. And I really encourage my clients to listen to their bodies rather than eating by the clock. In short, you need to work out whether breakfast is right for you. If you wake up and you don't feel the need to eat straight away, then don't. Have a drink, have a glass of water and wait until you are ready. But if you find that if you don't eat breakfast, then you end up snacking later in the day, then maybe you will decide that you do need breakfast. Some people say they feel lightheaded if they don't eat first thing, and that's absolutely fine. The most important thing is do what's right for you. If you eat breakfast at 11 o'clock, it can still be your breakfast. It's just that you're eating later. And if you find that, like me, you prefer to wait till 10, 11 o'clock before you have your first meal, then that's absolutely fine. Now, you may be thinking, does skipping breakfast affect your metabolism? And the answer is no. Studies show that there is no difference in calories burned over a 24-hour period between people who skip breakfast or people that eat breakfast. It has no effect on the amount of calories you burn throughout the day. Good to know, hey? And would you believe that the line, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, actually comes from the cereal makers Kellogg's? Yep. It was invented in the 19th century by James Caleb Jackson and John Harvey Kellogg to sell their newly invented breakfast cereal, which is quite clever marketing, isn't it? But it is something that we have taken through to today, and we say it constantly. You know, you must eat breakfast. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And I guess when we're growing up, you know, I encourage my little girl to eat breakfast because I don't want her to be at school hungry and waiting for lunchtime. So it is important that she has something. But I'm very conscious that I don't want to enforce the message that breakfast is the most important meal. Okay, here's another. You shouldn't eat late at night. Now, many people believe that eating late at night will cause weight gain. Now, if you late night snack or you're overeating big meals into the evening on top of your normal daily calorie allowance, then it will cause weight gain. But if you are eating late because of your lifestyle, your job, and what you're eating is within your daily calorie allowance, then it will not cause weight gain. I used to work till 10 o'clock at night, so I wouldn't get home and eat till 10:45, and I didn't eat a heavy high calorie meal. I'd probably eat about 400 calories. But many might say that this isn't ideal, but that was my work pattern. And then when I got up in the mornings, I wouldn't eat breakfast till later on in the day. But it worked for me, and I was successful at managing my weight because, again, it's about listening to your body. A study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition concluded that it's also a false claim, but they said that it's similar to other food myths. Late night snacking is connected to weight loss because you are more likely to eat bad foods if you are eating after hours purely for convenience. You can't usually order in a takeaway salad, but you can order in a pizza. So that is why eating late at night is connected to weight gain. So snacking as the sun goes down or eating late at night is allowed, but make sure you are making healthy choices and make sure it's within your calorie intake. Finally, the last one I will share today is one that people say to overweight people all of the time, and that is you just need to exercise and you will be fine. And if it was that easy, we would all just do it, wouldn't we? And we would all be fine. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all about moving more and finding ways that you enjoy to burn more calories, to tone up and to live a healthier lifestyle. But when it comes to weight loss, it's estimated that exercise plays at absolute best, only 30% role in weight loss. Because the biggest factor in success is changing what you eat and how much you eat it. And the problem with exercise is we often eat back the exercise calories. We think we deserve them or we've worked hard so we need them, which then potentially keeps us from losing weight. I know I'm certainly guilty of exercising and then eating more. Even now, it just feels like my body needs it because I've exercised. And the biggest thing with exercise, while we're on the subject, is finding something that you enjoy. And if it's a chore and it's hard work, then it can be really hard to keep it going. So find something that you like doing. Exercise doesn't mean joining the gym. It just means you need to be moving more. And great if you've got a personal instructor or if you do go to the gym, absolutely fantastic. But it's all about moving more. I've recently started running, and I use running loosely because sometimes it's a run walk, but I do this with an amazing bunch of ladies and we cheer each other on. And that's why I think exercise buddies are really, really important, because we've got a little group. There's always somebody willing to go out, whether it be day or night, and we motivate each other to keep going. And what's more, we have a good old natter while we're out, and we put the world to rights while we're exercising and getting some fresh air at the same time. So there it is. There's my thoughts for the week. In short, breakfast can be at 6 o'clock or 11 o'clock. It's still breakfast. Eat when you're hungry. If that's quickly, it doesn't mean that you will put it back on. You will only gain weight if you eat more than your body needs. Eat when you want to. Eating in the evening is fine as long as you don't overdo your calorie intake for the day. And finally, find an exercise you love, but make sure you change your diet and your relationship with food too. So I hope that's been helpful, and I look forward to connecting with you on social media. I always love hearing about how you're doing, how you're getting on. Feel free to ping me a message if you'd like me to talk about anything in particular. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. And don't forget to share and leave me a review. Have a great day. evening, whenever you are listening to this, and I will catch up with you again soon.